Hey guys, back with another video, and this one's going to be a little different, but it's gearing towards where I would like to go with my videos in the future, talking about art while drawing art. A little bit about this piece, potential spoiler alert if you haven't seen Guardians Volume 2. If anyone hasn't seen it, just letting you know, turn back now. So, slight spoiler, not a big one, I guess, I don't know. So, I saw Guardians a little while ago, and the scene I absolutely fell in love with was when Quill had these galaxy eyes. And I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to do my own interpretation of it. So it's a digital painting, so sorry for the vertigo of all the zooming in and out. So what are some of the follies we as artists fall into? Just note, these are my own opinions, and I have known to fall into them, and I consciously try to remind myself to get out of them, or to consciously be aware of them. So these are just mine, but I do know a lot of other artists also struggle with these. So the first one on the list is a lack of self-confidence. This can go into a bunch of different things. Art jealousy is a big one. When you compare yourself to other artists constantly, you don't give yourself the confidence to grow. We each have our own unique styles and workflows. Just because the person next to you is doing something different doesn't mean they're better. This lack of confidence in yourself can lead to depression, and it affects your work. If you don't have the confidence, you might not be able to upload your work to Tumblr, Instagram, ArtStation, DeviantArt, whichever platform you choose. And I am a firm believer, if you have talent, share it. Gain an audience. Don't let the fear of critique or thinking you're not good as the artist who has 10,000 more followers than you stop you from doing what you love. Because chances are, someone loves the same things you do. I struggle with confidence all the time. And to me, I am my own worst critic. It can push me to grow and get better, but at times when I'm struggling with my own inner demons, it becomes harder for me to see why. I struggle with this on a daily basis, but I know when I'm doing art, I'm happy because it's for me, and it keeps me going. And I love sharing what I've worked on and hearing people's feedback. As an artist, it's what drives you, so don't lose confidence in yourself. We all have to start somewhere, and it takes 10,000 hours to master a craft. The next is measuring and referencing. An odd subject I have come to realize in the art community is using references. I remember going into my final classes at college, and we weren't allowed to use reference. It was considered cheating. I hate that stigma. If I'm not good at something, I want to surround myself with images so I can look at it from all different angles. Case in point, in this illustration, I started painting an ear and realized I don't paint ears very often. So, I looked up what an ear looked like, and I repainted it. Now it looks like an ear. I have always struggled with noses, so I use references for it. If I keep using references on things I'm not comfortable with, I learn how it's done properly. And then one day, when I'm sketching, I realize I sketched the perfect nose. If you can gain a real-life subject, even better. I'm trying to teach myself to draw flowers at the moment, and I'll be spending a lot of time in the garden sketching, but for the flowers I don't have, I'll be looking at references. You need to train your eye to draw and paint what you see, so you can eventually see it in your mind's eye. On that note, when you're sketching things out, be sure to properly measure things. If you're drawing a body, use the rule of heads. When it comes to arms and legs, the elbow and knees are in the middle between the shoulder and the wrist, or the groin and the ankle. The belly button is directly in the center of the torso. If you keep these measurements in mind when sketching out your bodies, it will help you keep your proportions accurate. And it will deter you from having like super long forearms and calves and short thighs and biceps. So this leads into the next folly. Plan out your sketches. Going back to the body, and when you're drawing a person, do a rough sketch and nail your measurements before going into details of the face or other body parts. Because if you start detailing before you properly flesh things out, you might run into some wonky issues or realize you've made a mistake very early on and now it's carried on through the entire piece. So rough out your sketches, nail those measurements before you start detailing. Don't, and especially like if you're doing a portrait, don't work on the nose and put all of this detail into this perfect nose and then realize, oh, the nose is in the wrong spot. You know, don't do extra work. So make sure you flesh it all out first. Put on rough lines, just do rough sketching, get all the proportions and measure correctly out first before you start detailing. The fourth folly is don't give up halfway through. All of our artwork goes through an ugly stage. It's past the cute sketch stage where you can kind of see it in your head, the final product that is, and it's now in the throes of half-doneness. It's past that I can see it and now it's here, but it's not what I want it to look like. But it's only half done. It needs a lot of polishing and refining up to be a finished piece. So anyway, so it doesn't look like how you have it envisioned in your head, but don't give up because you haven't finished it. It's only halfway. And even let's just say it's really not going the way you want it to, and it's really not what you had envisioned. Something went wrong. You messed something up, or you maybe used the wrong colors, or you spilled something. Then start a new vision in your head. Test yourself to finish it, and make it into its own piece, not just the piece that's sitting in your head. You have to learn. In art, we learn through trial and error, and sometimes our mistakes can be our saving grace. But too often, do we go halfway through our piece and decide it's gross, disgusting, it's ugly, and we throw it off to the side, when really it just needed a little bit more love and attention to polish it up. I struggle with this a lot, especially with my digital pieces. For the most part, I can finish, like I will remind myself and finish my traditional art and my watercolors, even if things aren't going quite the way I wanted them. But when it comes to digital art, it's so much easier for me just to throw it off to the side. I mean, even this piece here, I got halfway and I was like, I don't like it, you know, but I hadn't done the final touches. His hair wasn't done. His, you know, the shading was still rough. I hadn't done the background yet. And once you keep going and you keep putting all of those details on, all of a sudden it starts looking more and more cohesive together, and you have to harmonize those colors in together, you know, placing colors throughout the whole thing and to harmonize it. It helps bring the piece all together, but you won't see that if you give up on it halfway through. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But yeah, so a lot of digital pieces. I have so many digital pieces on my computer that are half done. And that's bad. That's bad on me. I shouldn't, you know, I really need to like stick with it. I need to go back and I need to finish them. And that kind of leads to the next one in the sense. Because the fifth folly I have is don't rush out the door. And what I mean by that is they say artwork is never finished, it's just abandoned, but don't abandon it halfway through. We could continue working on our pieces until the end of time, but at some point, whether we hit that goal in our head or not, we have to say it's done. But just don't call all the presses just yet. You need to rest your eyes. You need to step away from the piece, work on a new piece, take a nap, go for a walk, whether it's a 30 minutes or a day, come back to it and check it over. I was so happy to finally be done with this Galaxy Eye piece that I uploaded it over to my social media accounts right away. Then I went to dinner, and after dinner I looked at this piece again and I saw I had forgotten a few things. You need to give yourself a break from your artwork to have fresh eyes on it. I use this even when I'm at work. When I'm done with a shot, before I send it off to my supervisor or producer, I throw it back and work on something different. Then, after some time, I check it over again, one last time, to make sure all of my work is complete and done, and there are no mistakes floating about. Many times I catch things that I hadn't seen before, and I do a quick fix before sending it off. So this kind of goes back to the don't give up on your artwork halfway, but also if you are kind of in the throes of it's super ugly, take a break from it. Take a break, go relax, rest your eyes. It's important to rest your eyes from your own artwork, because when you come back, you're going to see it in a different light, and you're going to see things, oh, I forgot this, I need to do this. Oh, why didn't I think of that before? When you stare at something for so long, it becomes a blur, and you can't see it anymore. So give yourself a break. Take some time and go and come back to it. And come back, rest your eyes, and you will see things differently. Trust me. So those are my 5 biggest artist follies that I tend to fall into. I have a couple also for traditional, but I might save that for a different video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments below what some follies you tend to find yourself doing and have to constantly remind yourself not to do. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more art. And if you have a suggestion for a video, let me know. Until next time. Later, guys.